If you've been crocheting for a while and you feel like your home decor hasn't caught up yet, this is the video you've been waiting for. And if you're newer to crochet and wondering if you're ready for something like this, stick around, because some of these are way more doable than they look. Let's get into it. The first decoration that almost always gets noticed is a crocheted table runner. Not a placemat, not a doily, a full, long, gorgeous table runner that goes down the center of a dining table or a console table near your front door. Here's what makes it stand out. It's the combination of length and texture. When you lay something long and detailed across a flat surface, it creates this visual line that draws the eye immediately. People walk into a room and before they even sit down, they notice it. The stitches that work best for table runners are ones that have a lot of open work, meaning stitches that create holes or gaps in a pattern. Things like the shell stitch, the V-stitch, or even a simple fan stitch. What happens with those open stitches is that light passes through them, and when you put a runner on a table with a lamp nearby or near a window, it almost glows. It has this delicate, airy look that screams handmade in the best possible way. For yarn, go with cotton if you can. Cotton holds its shape well, it doesn't stretch out over time, and it has this clean, crisp look that works really well in a home setting. White or cream cotton on a dark wood table is honestly one of the best combinations you can do. It looks elegant without trying too hard. If you've never made a table runner before, start with something simple. Just a rectangle using a repeating stitch pattern. Once you get the hang of the repeat, you can zone out a little and just enjoy the process. That's one of the best things about this kind of project. Now the second decoration is one that surprises people every single time, and that's a crocheted lampshade cover, or sometimes people call it a lamp sleeve. Most people have lamps in their home that came from a big box store, and those lamps are fine, but they all look the same. When you slip a crocheted cover over a plain lampshade, it completely transforms that lamp. When the light is on, it shines through the crocheted stitches and throws this beautiful pattern of light and shadow on the wall. It looks like something out of a magazine. This works especially well with open stitch patterns again, anything where the yarn isn't too thick and too close together. You want light to get through. Stitches like the mesh stitch or a simple chain lace pattern work perfectly for this. You're basically creating a cylinder, which means you're working in the round, and once you know your lamp's measurements, it's really just a matter of repeating your pattern until you reach the right length. One thing to keep in mind, and this is important, don't use acrylic yarn for a lampshade cover. You want natural fibers like cotton or linen, something that doesn't react to heat. Always leave some space between the yarn and the actual bulb, and if you're using an LED bulb, you're even safer, because LEDs run much cooler than older bulbs. When guests walk into a room and see that lamp on, most of them will stare at the wall for a second, trying to figure out what's creating that pattern. Then they look at the lamp and they realize what's happening. It's one of those small details that makes your space feel really intentional. The third thing on this list is crocheted wall art. And I want to be specific here because wall art can mean a lot of things. What I'm talking about is a large circular mandala or a woven style piece that you frame or hang directly on the wall. These pieces have become really popular because they add texture to a wall in a way that a regular picture frame just can't. A mandala, if you don't know, is a circular design that's symmetrical. It radiates out from the center in rings. In crochet, mandalas are made by working in the round and increasing as you go, and each round adds a new layer of pattern. The result is a flat, circular piece that looks incredibly intricate. When you hang a large crocheted mandala, let's say around 12 to 16 inches in diameter, it becomes a focal point. You can frame it behind a piece of glass if you want it to look more polished, or you can put it in a simple wooden embroidery hoop, which gives it more of a natural, handcrafted look. Either way, it fills a wall in a beautiful way. The color choices matter a lot here. A mandala in a single color or two colors that are close to each other on the color wheel looks sophisticated and modern. If you go with a lot of different colors, it can look more playful and boho. Neither is wrong, it just depends on the feel of the room. A lot of people look at mandalas and think they're too hard, but here's the thing, you're just following a pattern, and that pattern repeats itself as you go out. Once you understand the logic of it, which usually clicks by round 3 or 4, you can figure out where you are just by looking at your work. Give it one try before you decide it's not for you. The fourth decoration is something that's especially stunning in the fall and winter, but honestly works all year round, and that's crocheted candle holders or candle jar covers. You take a plain glass jar, a mason jar, an empty candle jar, anything with straightish sides, and you crochet a sleeve around it. When you put a candle inside and light it, the flame glows through the yarn, and the whole thing looks warm and cozy and incredibly beautiful. For this one, thicker yarn actually works better than thin. A chunky or bulky yarn in a neutral color, like ivory, dusty rose, sage green, or a warm gray, looks really good wrapped around a glass jar. The texture from the yarn is part of what makes it appealing. Stitches that have a lot of dimension, like the bobble stitch or the puff stitch, make the cover look extra luxurious. This is also one of the easiest projects on this list, which makes it great if you want something quick that looks impressive. If you know how to single crochet in the round, you can make one of these in an evening. And if you make a few in different heights and group them together on a coffee table or a mantle, the effect is really stunning. Just like with the lampshade, real candles only in well-ventilated holders where the flame is fully enclosed. If you're using tea lights inside glass, you're completely fine. If you want zero risk, LED candles work just as well, and you can leave them on as long as you want. Fifth on the list, and this is the one people are the most surprised to hear is crochet, is a plant pot cover, or what some people call a plant basket. A lot of people put their indoor plants in plastic nursery pots because it's easier to water them and move them around, but those pots are ugly. Putting a crocheted cover around them is an instant upgrade. It's practical and it looks beautiful. The great thing about plant pot covers is that they come in so many styles. You can make something simple and minimal with just single crochets in a solid color. You can make something more textured with basket weave stitches or raised stitches. You can even make hanging plant holders, those macrame style hangers but done in crochet that let your trailing plants hang near a window. For plant pot covers, cotton yarn is again your best friend. It's easy to wipe clean if soil or water gets on it, and it holds its shape so the pot doesn't get that stretched out, saggy look over time. If you have a shelf with multiple plants, making matching or coordinating pot covers ties everything together visually. It makes a collection of random plants look like a curated display. Now, the sixth decoration is one that has quietly become one of the most liked crochet pieces in home decor, and that's a crocheted throw blanket styled and displayed rather than tucked away. Here's what I mean. Most people fold their blankets and put them in a closet or stuff them in a basket, but a beautifully made crochet throw, draped over the arm of a couch or folded loosely over a chair, is one of the first things people notice when they walk into a living room. It adds color, it adds texture, it makes a space feel lived in and warm without being cluttered. The stitches that look best for display blankets are ones with visible texture. The moss stitch, the herringbone half double, the shell stitch. These create a surface that looks really rich and intentional. When someone sees a blanket like that on a couch, they almost always reach out and touch it, and then they ask who made it. The size doesn't have to be huge. A lap blanket, around 36 by 50 inches, is totally enough to drape stylishly over furniture. It's also a more manageable project than a full throw if you don't want to commit to something massive. Color matters a lot with blankets too. Neutral colors, creams, tans, warm grays, soft terracotta, tend to photograph well and blend beautifully with most home styles. Bolder colors can be stunning if they